Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to an episode known as Media Watch. Now, we've done these shows before, we've been doing them for a few years, but I've actually been away, and I'm very grateful to the Sikh channel that we're back, and we've got some special shows lined up with some wonderful guests. Now, this week we have Jatinder P, I call him, Jatinder P, who is from SikhEntrepreneur.com. Great chap, great friend of mine. And he also called me a few weeks ago and said, we've got this amazing person coming over in the next few weeks. I think you should definitely interview him. A very inspirational person, no pressure, right? So we've actually got with us, well, I'm going to give you the real name, Pritinder, isn't it, Singh, right? But the actual, I guess your brand name is Shredder Singh, right? So I will explain what Shredder actually means. If you're into fitness, you'll probably know what that's all about. But I think the uniqueness here is that when it comes to diet and nutrition, a lot of people tend to use different types of protein, whereas this particular person has really kind of based his foundation of strength and fitness all around a vegetarian diet. But we'll come back to that in a minute. Now, just to remind you, because it's been a while since we've been on air, the show is really about looking at the news and some of the main stories to get some opinions, more about kind of a general commentary. We're not here to criticize anyone, we're here to say, this is interesting. And then also to really focus in on our guests as well. They can tell us a little bit about what they're doing, and hopefully they will be inspirational to you. If you want to send me an email, you can do that at info@sikhchannel.com, and we'll look forward to hearing your feedback. And if you want to come on as a guest, you've got an inspirational story, you get words out, inspirational story, then please do not hesitate to give me a shout, and we'll have a chat. Okay, so let's start off with the show. Thanks so much for coming. Wanted to ask you, first of all, you're visiting for just a few more days, aren't you? Or you're going to be here for a bit?
I'm here for 3 weeks, okay. So now 15 more days left.
All right, you're counting.
Yeah, it's all this countdown begins.
Brilliant, okay. And Jatinder, so lots of stuff going on, and also you do this thing I missed last night, which is the inspirational
dinner club.
Inspiring Dinners Club.
That's right, yes.
Right, and so what's that about?
So basically we're looking at how, because of digital, how everybody seems to be on their phones, connecting through media and all that kind of stuff. They're not really connecting as human beings. So what we wanted to do is create this club where we just socialize, have fun, just chit chat, have a nice dinner, and really connect and make relationships through friendship, as opposed to WhatsApping or phone and things like that.
And
so
this
that's what
week's guest, which was yesterday, was
that's right, yes.
Where we were talking about some of the things he's doing and some of the programs he's put about.
Yep.
So I just want to really just kind of talk about news very quickly. There's been a lot of talk this week. There have been various politicians featured in the news with regards to the Myanmar situation, the Rohingya Muslims. There was also some other media stuff that was going on with regards to, I know there are certain charities, I think Khalsa Aid are there, they're also helping out and they're serving lots of food. And there was some, like, why are you doing this? And it's like, I thought to myself, well, these people are people, aren't they? Ultimately they are people that, it doesn't matter what religion you're from, you need to help people.
Yeah.
I mean, do you think, what's your view on that? Do you think it's like a difficult situation with all these, something like 400,000 people, there's a Google photograph actually showing where the villages, let's not get into the debate about who burnt them, but people have moved. People have walked through mud and then now they can't eat. I mean, it's a terrible situation, right?
Well, if you ask about my views, I would just like to start as per our Guru's teaching that every human is same, right? And if they are killing the humans, then they are going against to the humanity, right? We are not the one who are deciding who needs to be live, who needs to be dead. It's decided by God. So definitely it's kind of racism. So racism is getting over the humanity. So that's why they are killing the people. So Rohingya is basically, they said that you are Muslims, you are not belongs to our land. That's why they are killing. So I guess this is really, really bad move. Whatever they are doing, it's really wrong. It should not be happen.
I think what's interesting about that particular community, the Rohingya Muslims. There's a CNN article published this week which actually says that they've actually been there since the 15th century.
Right.
So they have been there. I mean, people are people. They're made up of different, you live in India, right? I mean, you've got Hindus, Muslims, Sikhs, you've got lots of different kinds of people.
It's not like a war. They are even killing the children. Like I saw some videos on the Instagram, on some social media. They killed the 2 years old. I mean, this is not good. It's totally against the humanity, and definitely they have to pay it. So all these things are totally against my values.
We have been showing some pictures just now actually of that.
Yeah.
It's totally against what we
It's
believe
totally
in.
against.
Isn't it?
I mean,
Exactly.
it's really hard to see whatever they're doing just on videos, and the people who are facing it live, it's really hard for them. So
Do you think that we're actually far away from there, so that, or even that people that live next door to those countries, even for example, people from the Muslim faith, I mean, people are trying to help them out. I believe that there was a shipment from the International Red Cross, I think today, that was trying to ship there, but people were trying to block it. I mean, it's basic food.
It's interesting because when something goes on, the media covers something in a particular way.
That's true.
Right? So sometimes there are other things going on around the world like this, which doesn't come through to mainstream as much. So not a lot of people, I think, get to know about it. And we get to know about it through social media and other channels and things like that, which it's like a suppression of what's actually going on in the world. So, these things, why they're being suppressed, I don't know. It's something that should be created awareness about. So, the governments of those countries can do something more to actually put pressure on this, not to, it's all about humanity,
But
humanity
do you think that
first.
we leave it to governments to do, and then we just kind of sit back and go, oh, well, you sort it out because you've got responsible to do that?
I think we do to some degree. I think because it's just on media, and because, like you said, we're here, they're over there. We're often like, how can we help with this? What can we do about it? So the channels of how to actually reach out or get to those places or do something about it seem to be limited sometimes as well. So if there's probably more awareness around it, maybe people could do more to support that.
Right. Maybe more pressure on social media.
Yeah.
Maybe more letter writing. Maybe
definitely
actually.
on social media and government needs to come forward, then people can join them. Because if the people only try, then they're afraid of to get attacked.
There is that issue as well, isn't it? That sometimes people are afraid to help
definitely
people as
people
well,
are afraid
aren't they?
because they have guns, they have weapons, and humans are just not face them. They used to live a normal life, so they are not fighters. They are not well trained, because you can say it's kind of a terrorist attack on the normal people. So it's really hard for them. They can't fight back.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So I mean, I guess a little bit of kind of like if you're strong internally, if you keep yourself fit as well. I mean, there's also a certain amount that we use this phrase because of apathy, right? Which is like, I can't be bothered, right?
Yeah.
Do you think that creeps in over time when the story starts to diminish? You don't get to hear about it in the headline news. The people are still suffering, but the way that it plays on your conscience is no longer on your conscience because it's not in the media.
Yeah, I think there's an element of that. I think it's like those things. If it's in your consciousness, you're more alert, more aware about it. But when it's not, then people just tend to get on with their everyday lives. And it's unfortunate. It's one of those things, isn't it, that sometimes we don't know how it really is until it happens to something in our own neighborhood, in a way, And but because of empathy and even mirror neurons, we feel these things for other people. But I think, the awareness of something going on like that, it needs to come out a bit more.
So, as you mentioned, there's many other things happening all around the world. I mean, people have made movies about the current problems in Punjab. Like, for example, there's a issue with farmers. There's also there's a lot of statements made. I mean, we live in the UK.
Yeah.
We're born in the UK, so we get one perspective. As well as the fact that we get certain bits of information, as you said, coming through. So, is there really a problem in India with regards to there are some drug issues in Punjab? Is there really farmer suicide issues? I mean, is it a real problem there?
Yeah, if you checked on social media, many people try to show the real picture through their short movies about the farmers. Like in the last years, many farmers, they do suicide. Well, I tell you, there are few reasons. Like, it's just not a government. There are few reasons, like nature, climatical. Because when you need rain, it doesn't rain, and when you don't need rain, it rains.
And sometimes the fertilizers don't work as well, doesn't
exactly.
it? And they cost money.
And it happens every year. Even the same on this years, because my own relatives are doing farming and they face a lot of loss in their business. But the thing is, if they are financially strong, they can bear that loss. But someone who is just living like their daily expenses, he's in distress. And when you are in distress, all you think is just to finish themselves. So definitely, there is a problem with farmers. So it's really hard for them when they're all the hard work they did just for the final results, and it just get ruined due to the climatical change, or maybe they get less price in the market when they go to sell. So it's really hard. So
From an optimistic perspective, and we were just having a conversation before you went on air, right?
Yeah.
There is this thing about there are many people that are doing good,
yeah,
right? Not only
Yeah.
doing good in terms of, you know, trying to get jobs and trying to
Yeah,
be
yeah.
successful, but also trying to be good in terms of helping other people,
yeah.
you know, because of like the real Sikhi ethic, which is about
Mm.
the selfless service,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
So are people helping those people that are suffering? Are there groups that are getting together?
Like the people who are suffering in farming, or
Yeah.
just a regular.
Yeah, so for example, if there are, you know, they've identified that there are people that have got drug issues or whatever, are there people within the community that are getting together going, do you know what, let's try and help these people out? Because these are positive stories, aren't they?
Yes, they are like ਆਪਣੇ ਪੰਜਾਬ ਵਿੱਚ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਨੇ ਉੱਥੇ ਨਸ਼ਾ ਛੁਡਾਓ ਕੇਂਦਰ ਬਣਾਏ ਗਏ ਨੇ, but still loopholes are everywhere, right? They are trying their best, which is really good. So it's not like they are not doing anything. There are few centers in which they treat the youth who is in the drugs. They try to join their classes. They try to teach them meditation, and then they try to put them on some medication, because when you quit the drugs,
Yeah,
all of a sudden you can't quit it.
it's true.
So they
Yeah.
try to teach them you have to cut down their
They try to
intake,
wean them off.
and then when you
Yeah,
cut down
yeah.
the intake, you have to switch on some medicine.
Okay.
So that's how they are helping. But still, if the person is not willing
Mm.
to quit, it will not work. So it's kind
Mm.
of teamwork. Yeah, I saw many people who left this. I have people in my circle, and they have relatives in the further. They are just in mid-20s. They were in drugs, but now they are living a healthy life because they quit the drugs. It's something inside the internal power, your willpower, which make you believe that you want to live. You have to live for your family. There are people who wants you to live. So those people can do that.
So you think, in a way, the kind of thing that you do,
Yeah.
right, is not only obviously, you know, you've got this service that you offer,
Yeah.
which is like personal training. You're qualified to
Yeah.
an international level, so you
Yes.
know what you're doing, right? Other people that don't know what they're doing with the weights, you can say,
Exactly.
actually, you should hold your weights this way, or you need to
Yeah.
have this technique, or you need to be whatever. You can give them guidance. Do you think that do you think in a way you're also providing that level of, this is another way, you know, you should look after yourself, you should make sure your nutrition is right, you
Yeah.
shouldn't follow that path of, you know, being into drugs. So do you think in
Yeah,
a way
exactly,
that
I'm
you
doing
kind of
it.
are doing two things? You're
Yeah.
obviously got your business,
Yeah,
but you're also helping other people.
Yeah, I tell you what I am actually doing, what's in my mind. Maybe it's, if you see my social media, you can't judge it, but if you see, I'm sure you can judge it, that what I am doing actually. So let's say if you are 16 years old, and 16 to 22, this is the period when you are going to be in the bad company, either you are going to be in the good company, right?
Mm.
So this is the age when you have to balance your life. It decide your life. It's going to be good or it's going to be bad. So I have a following all around the world, but definitely I have a good grip in the Punjab. So let's say if I'm posting some tips for the beginners, for the gym and all, so what I'm also posting my daily life stories, like to wake up till my bed. So I show them what I do. This is my breakfast, this is my lunch, this is my dinner. In between I am serving to the stray dog animals. Whatever I do, I post every single day, so they can see this person is here because he is consistent. He has principles to spend his life, entire life. What I am doing today, I will do the same to my entire life. It's not like I'm going to be, okay, I'm going to be lazy, I am successful. No, I have to work more hard, because there are a lot of people who are following me. If I'm an inspiration, then there is a reason. There's a reason to live. I have to do for them. Maybe I don't do myself. I have to do for them, because they get inspired. So, and you know, whatever you see every day, it gets settled down inside you, because we are watching it every day. जो भी ਆਪਾਂ देखਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਆਪਣੇ ਦਿਲ 'ਚ ਬਹਿ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਹੈ ਨਾ। ਕਈ ਵਾਰ ਕਿਸੇ ਨੂੰ ਆਪਾਂ ਪੜ੍ਹਾਉਂਦੇ ਹਾਂ, like if we are reading something, it's not going to be in our mind or not in, but when we see everything, it start getting settled down inside us. So whatever I'm showing them every day, so I'm sure people are, because they send me the videos like, sir, you are inspiration, we are trying to follow you. So definitely I get around 500 videos in the last 6 months.
Wow.
People, they just starting changing their diet, they just joined gym. Even the people who are in their mid 50s, they start getting inspired, and they just try to show their grandchildren, okay, this is the guy you should follow, because social media is a very powerful in these days. Everyone, like if he is 14 years old, he is having a Facebook account. If he is 55 years old, he is having a Facebook account. So this is the best way, best medium to in touch with all over the audience, not just Sikhs, all audience, like every human.
What kind of questions do you think Jatinder were asked last night when the inspiring dinners took place? When people came along?
Yeah,
Did you
I mean,
have
they
some
were,
interesting questions?
yeah, they did. They were asking about, you know, his discipline, how he got into it, why he got into it, his kind of drive to do what he's doing. One of the things we spoke about was, like the topic of, you know, the youth, the drugs. You know, there's not enough role models. We have actually started.
Enough role models in the UK or abroad
I think
internationally?
there's loads of people doing things, but we don't always know what's going on.
Right.
We have actually started up a new initiative, which is Sikh Role Model. And on there, we're featuring people like Pritinder about what they're doing and things like that. And you're on there as well. We'll put you on. Right, but the whole point is to, you know, to get the kind of face of Sikhi out there to say, look, there's loads of Sikhs out there that are doing very fabulous, fantastic things, very inspiring things. Yeah, Sikhi is strong. Sikhi is not going anywhere. You know, and you know, it was just to hear his story was very inspiring. To say, look, someone from the Punjab come down to the UK on their own initiative, right, their own skill, own determination, right, and is making an effort to actually do something about it. And that is very inspiring for the youth, because we hear all these stories about the drugs and all these kind of things, but we don't always see the good stuff that's coming out of Punjab.
Yeah.
You know, so I think that's why it's very important for people like Shreddy Singh to come out there and say, this is what I'm doing, this is what's going on.
So there are people doing good things. So people doing good music, you know, dance arrangements, or directors, film producers, you know, they do some great stuff. Even you go to seeknet.com, you can actually see some of the film festivals. There's a lot of movies that are made out there.
Yeah, see, I tell you what, people know me just as a fitness model, Sikh fitness model, but I myself treat myself as an artist, right? My art is fitness. So any people who are specialized in music or maybe in painting, singing, they all are artists. We are categorized in the same route, artists, right? So let's say, like last night we had a talk, a real talk at the dinner club. So I told about myself, how I started. So it's really good to tell about your entire success story. Like I started from scratch, from zero.
Yeah.
So the story from zero to hero is not easy.
And as we were just talking before, because we've got time to talk about this, we've got limited time, but I really wanted to bring this point out. You qualified. You got some great qualifications. You did an MBA, right? And you went through quite a lot of interviews. You did additional qualifications, and then you got an offer eventually, because you got to go to a lot of interviews. Sometimes it's really difficult to get a job. Feels like India has some kind of quota type things as well, doesn't it?
Exactly.
But anyway, regardless of that, then you had an offer on the table. What was the thing that went in your mind at that point? You thought, you know what, I've been going to the gym for a while. I think that this could be a better path than rather than doing the kind of traditional, I'll be a clerk and I'll be promoted in a bank and one day I'll manage an entire bank, you know, and I'll look at the safe on the wall with all the cash inside it, right, and help people out that way. But what made you decide I'm going to do this fitness route and become somebody who can provide that advice as a business as well, but also to help enrich people's lives to become stronger and longer lasting, you know?
Okay, so you know what I think, there are many people who achieve a lot of things in their life, but the actual achievement is that which makes you happy. If you're not happy and there is something you achieved, doesn't bother. Does it make sense? Right? So when I worked hard for my getting a job, I have worked hard to crack a competition exams for like a banking sector. So after 1 year, I finally cracked one exam, and they just called me for the interview. I qualified the interview, and they just sent me the call letter, like you have to just sign, and they call you for the training for 1 month, then you just get your like a government job. But when I cracked that exam, I had the offer letter. I was not happy with my achievement. I was just like, man, I worked hard for it, but it doesn't make me happy. It's finally here. So I just start recalling what makes me happy in my entire day.
Did you make a list, or did you just
No,
think
no,
about it?
just recall. Just recall.
Right,
I did this. What I do from since morning to night. So I just recall, and I just realized I am working out from last. That time it was 7 years. Now it's 12 years. It's 5 years back. I'm telling. So I just realized from last 7 years I am consistently lifting. That 1 hour makes me happy. Like I started my day early, like 6 a.m. But my energy should be zero at 8 p.m. But when I entered to the gym 8 p.m., I was full of energy.
Okay.
Like when the music hits in my ear and I lift the heavy weights, I was not the same person when I entered to the gym. So I realized this is something now in my blood, in my breath. So I decided that this is the right passion for me, this is the right profession for me, and I decided I make my profession in
And
my
did you meet
passion.
anybody else who'd been doing this kind of thing, or did you think like, I mean, a lot of people do look at Arnold Schwarzenegger, and
Yeah.
he
No, I was
and-
following none.
all right.
I just know that there's
There are some people that have done this
but I
before.
was following none. I just do it by my own,
Okay,
by my
cool.
researching on Google,
Right.
then start making changes in my nutrition and testing and tracking myself, how much I weigh day 1, how much I weigh day 30. So there are changes. This diet is working on me. So self-learning is the best learning.
Absolutely.
There is no book who is going to teach you the experience you learn with the experiments.
Mm.
So experiment myself for the 18 months, and I transformed myself. Then I competed for the India, and then I was qualified in top 20 athletes among 250 competitors in all over India. So on the backstage, people came for me for the pictures, and they know I am Singh because I had a turban, I had a beard, but they don't know my name. So I was totally ripped, having a 5% body fat. So we call it shredded. So they just make a name, Shredded Singh.
Okay.
So I said,
That
why
became
not?
your brand.
Yeah. So I said, why not keep it as my social media name?
Right.
So I'm just keeping it from last 2.5 years. I'm having that abs, maintaining that physique.
Sure.
Because
Yeah, we can tell the arms.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's how we started.
Okay. So that's good. And then nutrition-wise,
Yeah.
I mean, do you think that people are becoming more and more aware of the kind of food that they're eating? I know India's tempting when you go to India, the dabas and everything else.
Yeah, see,
But then it's kind of, and then you're very much in a vegetarian style, right?
yeah, exactly. I'm vegetarian by birth. So you have to worry about your nutrition when you are working on some healthy plans, or you're trying to change yourself physically, or maybe as well as healthy. Like if you are having any kinds of disease like blood pressure, it's common in India
Yeah.
due
Diabetes,
to stress and
yeah.
due to having a lot of mirchi masala, like spices in India. You know that people do eat a lot of spices. Even if they have salt in the sabji, they will add extra spice, extra salt in the dahi,
Mm.
right? So this is not good for health. Too much salt is going to make you bloated. You will hold more water. Your body will gain weight. So definitely you have to change your nutrition plan. So I have to think about
Sounds
what I'm
good.
going to
So
feed myself.
We got a couple of minutes left, right?
Yeah.
Literally. So I wanted to ask you, in terms of like, so you've got some stuff on YouTube.
Yeah.
You've got you can tell us your sign in a minute, your
Yeah.
tag, your Instagram, and also your Facebook,
Yes.
right? But then you're providing guidance on video and one-to-one, is that right?
Yeah, I do work as an online trainer for full time. So if people are looking for they need a special attention, then I do charge. I train them one-on-one, customized. But if they are looking for free tips, healthy tips, then I have YouTube, Shredded Singh Fitness. They can follow me on the Instagram, shredded.singh. It's on my Facebook, Shredded Singh. They can just have a look. I post my daily workouts, live workouts, and I post about my nutrition. So yeah, they're most welcome to check out.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I hope the Inspired Dinners actually took some information.
Yes, absolutely. Very informative.
So that
very
when
informative.
you actually
Yep.
had the dinner, you
Yes.
had some
that
good
was
stuff.
great.
That's right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think so. I think I saw a photograph on your
Yeah.
Instagram. which,
Everybody wanted a photograph with
Oh,
Shred
okay.
Singh.
There were two photographs, one with
That's right.
Shredded Singh, and also here, this is what we were eating last night.
Yes, yes, that's right.
You're good at doing that, right?
Yes, that's right. That's right.
Absolutely. So I just want to say thanks so much for coming on the show.
It's all
Really
right.
appreciate your time.
Yeah.
I wish you all the best of luck in future stuff you're doing.
Thank you.
Very inspirational in terms of saying that you can change and you can change for the better,
Yeah.
and you can also help other people change. That's what they say, isn't it? The old Michael Jackson song, take a look at,
Yeah.
Man in the Mirror.
Man in the Mirror,
make
that's
a
right.
change.
Yeah.
It's only when you realise yourself you need to do it, you should do
Exactly.
it. And in this case, it's really good that it's really nice to hear that there are people in India that are going out and helping other people in their communities to solve some of the problems that are there, right? And ultimately, we're there to help each other. I always think in my life that, the only purpose of living is to help other people, but you should try and aim for that.
That's right.
Yeah. So thanks so much, Tinder. Thanks so much for the thing.
Thank you
Real
very
name.
much.
Pritinder Singh.
Yeah.
Right. But anyway, so I hope you enjoyed the show this time round, and it's the new season and some new shows, and we look forward to bringing some more guests on board to inspire you, just like our guest did this time round. So we look forward to seeing you next time. Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh.